Hare 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 Rama Hare
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances of Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to morning Bhagavatam class. This morning we will be continuing to hear from Srila Prabhupada on the same chapter, the Pandavas retire timely. We are on verse 38 of Canto 1, Chapter 15. And without further delay, we will start the class and request devotees to please try to have at least one takeaway at the end of the class that we can share and discuss. It's really nice. We've been having some really nice discussion the past few weeks, this week, on many points from Srila Prabhupada's lecture, and it's very nice to share and reflect and ask questions and clarify doubts and stuff like that. So without further delay, we will start the class. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Svarat Pautram Vinayanam Atmano Susamam Gunai Toyanivya Patim Pumir Abhyasinchad Gajahvaye Swarat Potram Vinayanam Atmanak Susamam Gunai Toyani Vyapatim Pumir Abhyasinchad Gajavaye Swarat Potram Vinayanam Atmanak Susamam Gunai Toyani Vyapatim Bhumir Abhyasinchad Gajavaye Swarat Potram Vinayanam Atmanak Susamam Gunai Toyani Vyapatim Bhumir Abhyasinchad Gajavaye
Swarat Potram Vinayanam Atmanak Susamam Gunai Toyani Vyapatim Bhume Abhyasinchad Gajavaye
Swarat Potram Vinayanam Atmana Susamam Gunai Toyani Vapatim Bhumer
Swarat, the emperor. Pautram, unto the grandson. Vinayanam, properly trained. Atmana, his own self. Susamam, equal in all respects. Gunai, by the qualities. Toyanivyaha, outskirted by the seas. Patim, master. Pume, of the land. Abhyashinchat, enthroned. Gajavaye, in the capital of Hastinapur. Translation. Therefore, in the capital of Hastinapur, he enthroned his grandson, who was trained and equally qualified, as the emperor and master of all the land bordered by the seas.
So, it appears that 5,000 years ago, all the lands of this globe were known. It is a mistake that America was discovered. It was known. Otherwise, how it is said that the land encircled by water, unless it is known. Our so-called Hindus, they say that if somebody goes on the other side of the sea, he becomes fallen. Does it mean that the emperor did not go outside? The capital was Hastinapur, which is now near New Delhi. That they say the Pandav fort is there. Anyway, so the whole world was being governed by the emperor situated in Hastinapur. One state. There are many evidences. Therefore, the history of the whole world is called Mahabharata. Maha means greater. Mahabharata. The history. Mahabharata is history. They call it epic. No, it is history. So, formerly, the whole planet, Bharatvarsha, it was named Bharatvarsha, and it was being governed by one emperor. Therefore, it is said here, Sarat. Sarat means completely independent. Maharaj Yudhishthira was not dependent on any other king or any other state. He was fully independent. Whatever he liked, he could do. That is king, that is emperor. If the so-called king or the president is dependent on the votes of some rascal voters, then what kind of Sarat he is? At the present moment, the so-called president is dependent on the votes of some rascals, that's all. The rascals, they do not know whom to vote, and therefore another rascal is elected, and when he is not doing well, they cry. You have elected? Why you are crying now? Because they are rascals. They do not know that this is going on. But actually the head of the state should be Sarat, fully independent, not on the votes of the Praja. He is only dependent on Krishna, just like Maharaj Yudhishthira. All the Pandavas, they were under the order of Krishna. So the king or the emperor is representative of King Krishna. Therefore he is so honored. Naradeva, the king's another name is Naradeva, God as human being. God as human being. The king is so respected because he is representative of Krishna. Any representative of Krishna, this king, not the present king or president, but this is the ideal. So, he should be so perfect representative that it is said by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jasya prasadad bhagavat prasad. If the king is real representative of God, then simply by pleasing the king, you please the Almighty Father, God. This was this. So why Krishna wanted this battle of Kurukshetra to install Maharaj Yudhishthira on the throne? Because he knew that he is my right representative, not Duryodhana. Therefore, there must be fight, and this Duryodhana and company should be finished, and Yudhishthira should be installed. So selection, this is parampara. So Yudhishthira's responsibility is the next king, because he is going to retire. The next emperor, he should be also equally qualified like me. And therefore it is said, Susamam gunai. Susamam. Exactly my representative. He has got my grandson, Parikhet. He has got the equal qualification. Therefore he should be installed. Not a vagabond. No, that cannot be. When Maharaj Parikhet was born, he was the only child in the whole Kuru family. All others were killed in the battle. No, he was also posthumous child. He was within the womb of his mother. His mother was simply pregnant. His father, 16 years old only, Abhimanyu, Arjun's son, he went to fight in the battle. He was so great warrior that 7 big men required to kill him. Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Duryodhana, like that, all combined together. So there is no mercy. This Abhimanyu was grandson, great-grandson of all the heroes who encircled him to kill. Very beloved grandson or great-grandson, Bhishma's great-grandson, Duryodhana's grandson, but it is fight, Kshatriya. When we have come to fight, we must kill the opposite party. It doesn't matter whether it is my beloved son or grandson or great-grandson. This is duty. So, this Abhimanyu, father of Maharaj Parikhet, only 16 years old, his mother Uttara, king of Maharaj Virat. So, when he was born, there is Vedic ceremony, Jatakarma ceremony. After a child is born, oh, what a horrible age we are now. We are killing before the birth of the child. This is Kali. Such it is so welcome, auspicious. A child is born in the family. There is ceremony, Jatakarma ceremony. Before the child is born, there is ceremony, Garvadhan ceremony, Sadhabhakhan ceremony. Such a nice culture. Where it is gone now? Now, child is killed within the womb of the mother, by the mother. This is called Kali. And it is scientific advancement. The scientists, the priests, they give order, the doctor gives that yes, do it. Just try to understand what is Kali Yuga. So anyway, this is the Vedic system that when a child is born, immediately his horoscope is made. Astrological science is so perfect. The moment the child is born, immediately calculated what is the position of this moment. Then they derive calculation, this child will be like this will be this, will be this, will be this. I have also horoscope. The other day talking, and it was clearly written that horoscope that this child, after 70 years, he will be great religious propagator and establish so many temples. Yes, this is astrology. Those are my students who have seen my horoscope in India. It is clearly written there. So that is horoscope. So while the Brahmins were writing horoscope, so Maharaj Yudhishthir's anxiety was, they were describing this child will be such a great hero, he will do this, and it was mentioned that he'll die also being cursed by a Brahmin. That was So Yudhishthira Maharaj did not take care of that, how he'll die. He simply took care how he'll live. He inquired from the learned Brahmins whether this child will be exactly prototype of our dynasty. Because this is a Kuru dynasty, is the parampara system of emperors, all perfect. So whether this child will be like that. That was his inquiry first. So all the Brahmins replied, yes sir, this is just quite fit to your family. Therefore it is said here that Susamang Gunoi, by quality exactly like Maharaj Yudhishthira. So unless one is qualified, highly qualified, how he can be installed as the head of the executive of the state or the world? And this has been given charge with third-class voters who has no character. So how you can expect the elected person should be perfect? That is not possible. This is not the system. This is the system. The head of the state should be perfect, and the next head should be selected by this perfect head of the state, not by the rascal voters. This is perfection. If the head of the state is perfect, then naturally the citizens will be perfect. Because all the laws are there. If the head of the state says, no more meat eating, all slaughterhouses will be closed. If the head of the state says, no more intoxication, then all the cigarette factories and liquor factories will be closed. Is it not? Because, so therefore the head must be perfect. Then, Jajjadachariti Sreshta Tattad Eva Itare Jana. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said that what the chief man behaves, others will follow. Therefore it is called leader. Leader. So you have read in Bhagavatam about the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, how perfect it was, that at that time the cows were supplying so much milk, the bag was fat with milk, that while the cows were moving, milks were dropping, and the pasture ground became muddy with milk. So much milk was being supplied. And it is said, Sarmakamu Dughamahi, and exactly in right time, the right quantity of rainfall was there, not like nowadays. Sometimes there is no rain, and there is sometimes excessive rain, flood. What the scientists can do? They cannot check. This regulatory principle depends on nature, and nature is being conducted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maya dhakshena prakriti swati sacharacharam hetunani kauntiya jagadvi parivartate. This cosmic manifestation is going regularly. The sun is rising exactly at the time, it is setting exactly, the season are coming exactly under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, when the king is a debauch, or the president is a debauch, and the citizens are also debauched, there is restriction of supply by nature, under the order of the Supreme. Just like there is now petroleum problem. Now, by the order of the Supreme, the restriction is there, now they are howling, you see. So everything will rest. Tasmin tuste jagat tusta. If you keep Krishna satisfied, if you all become devotees, Krishna conscious, there is no question of scarcity. There is no question of scarcity. There is immense supply. Eko jo bahunam vidadhati kama. We have seen it. You have also seen. Sometimes in season there is so much mango supply that they rot on the ground. Nobody cares to take it. So the supply is not in your hand. You cannot supply by factory. You can manufacture bolts and nuts, not rice or dal or ghee or mango or fruits. So supply is eko jo bahunam vidudhati kaman. What is the difference between God and ourselves? We are also living entities, God is also living entity. Nitya Nityana. I have several times explained this. You say, Krishna, what is the difference of Krishna? You have got two hands, I have got two hands. He has got two hands. He has two legs, you have got two legs. So the appearance, Krishna is equal or in quality. But the difference is that he maintains everyone and you are maintained. You are not maintainer. You cannot maintain even your family. What to speak of maintain everyone. But God maintains everyone. Eko jo bahunam, bahunam means many, unlimited. Unlimited number of living entities are there. There are millions of elephants in Africa. He is maintaining. At a time, the elephant eats about 40 kilograms. Who is supplying food? He is eating. The small fish in the ocean, he is also eating. A small ant within the whole of your room, you are not supplying any food, but they have got their family, their friends and everything. Sometimes they come out in hundreds. Who is maintaining? Therefore, eko jo bahunam vidade. Krishna is maintaining, God is maintaining. So, the king is required because the human being has got developed consciousness. So, the chance is given. Just like this, your president's post is a very exalted post. But he is somehow or other, people say that he has misused, therefore you should go away. Similarly, amongst all living entities, human being is the eldest or the chief or the supermost. So they should use their intelligence properly. But because every human being has got little independence, because he is part and parcel of God, God has got full independence, so he has also little independence. Just like big fire and a small fire, a spark. The spark is also fire. When the spark falls on your body, it immediately burns your clothes because it is fire. Similarly, in quality, we are as good as God. We are spirit, soul, and Krishna is the supreme spirit, soul, Paramatma. So qualitatively there is no difference, but quantitatively there is difference. His intelligence, his power, and my power, my intelligence is not the same. You can manufacture a toy Sputnik to fly in the sky, to float in the sky by so many mechanical arrangements. As soon as the machine is gone out, immediately falls down. But just see what machine is there. Millions and trillions of airplane, big planet with big mountains, oceans, they are floating. So that is his intelligence. Your intelligence may be, that you can also float a big aeroplane, but what is that big aeroplane in comparison to these big planets? It is nothing. There is also petrol stock, and in the aeroplane there is also petrol stock. Perhaps it is floating by petrol, and you are taking out all the petrol, so one day it will fall down. Yes, you are disturbing God's arrangement. Just like in we had the history of Lord Barahas lifting this planet, Earth planet, from the Garbhoda ocean. So any time it can fall down, but it is being floated by the supreme power. Otherwise, by calculation, how such a big planet can float just like a cotton swab? Yes, it is floating. Not only one, millions. So that is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Gama Visham Ahamojas Dharoyami. He enters in each and every planet, in each and every universe, each and every atom, andantarasthang paramanu chayantarasthang, maintaining that. So, the emperor should be representative of God. He should be qualified, fully qualified. That was the Vedic system. Monarchy, but fully qualified. Therefore he could maintain the kingdom. The citizens were fully qualified, so qualified that they did not suffer even from disease, excessive heat, excessive coldness, no. Very peaceful. Supply was properly. Sarvakama dughamahi. Everything was being supplied. Whatever you want, that is supplied through the earth. Through the earth. Even if you take meat, that is also coming from the earth. The grass is there, the animal is eating, the cow or the goat, then you are able to eat the animal. So, sarvakama dughamahi. But a human being is not meant for eating animal. Although the nature is that one animal eats another animal. That is the nature. But you have got discrimination. God has given you, when you are in the jungle, you are a tiger, you can eat animal. But when you are civilized, when you can produce nice food stuff, so many nice grains, fruits and milk, why should you eat meat? That means you are misusing your advanced intelligence improperly. Therefore you must suffer. You must suffer. You are using your intelligence. Your intelligence was given to understand what is God, what is your relationship with God, why you are rotting in this material world under shadow, illusion of so-called happiness. These things are to be known in human form and body. Not like working very hard like cats and dogs and asses and eat little food and do all sinful activities. This is not human intelligence. The will control. If the king, the head of the government is perfect, then he will control. So that is all gone. Therefore we are suffering. Therefore Yudhishthira Maharaj, first business is, before appointing his grandson, he was very much eager to know whether he is competent, exactly my representative. This is the business of the king. And Toyo Nibhyapating. Toyo Nibhyapating means the whole world, not the modern India, a few years of land, no. The India was governing, India, the king or the emperor of Hastinapur, he was the emperors. Now 7 seas, 7 islands, they are mentioned in the Vedic literature. 7 islands. So the emperor would be emperor of the whole earth, and there was everywhere the Vedic culture. Everywhere the Vedic culture was, more or less, principally in that part which is known as India. But in other parts also the Vedic culture was there. And the Europeans, they belong to the Kshatriya family, and the Americans also coming from them. Now, in due course of time, 5,000 years, there is no history. The modern history can give detail up to 3,000 years. They do not know what is beyond 3,000 years. But you can get history of the human society for millions of years from Vedic literature. Not poor fund of knowledge, only 2,000 years or 3,000. Just like this Yudhishthira Maharaj was emperor 5,000 years ago. So this is the history, that is Mahabharata. This is their characteristic that is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything is there. But the rascal scholars, they say that these are literatures within 1,500 years or like that. No. That is not accepted by us or our acharyas. That is not accepted. There are many evidences, archaeological evidences also. So 5,000 years ago, the king was so perfect. And there was one king was ruling all over in the battlefields of Kurukshetra, from all parts of the world, the subordinate kings, they joined to cooperate with either of the parties, Pandavas and the Kurus. So, Bhume, Kodishancha, Abhishek, Abhishancha, just like we install deity, we bathe the deity with so many waters. Similarly, during installation of the king, the same ceremony takes place. Before the prince or the emperor sits on the throne, the same ceremony, Abhishek ceremony, is performed. Therefore, it is called Abhishancha. Gajahoy. Gajahoy means Hastinapur. Hasti means elephant. So because it is Hastinapur, therefore the name, and Gaja means also elephant. So it is named after elephant. There are many elephants, just like Gokula. Krishna's planet is known as Gokula. There are many cows, Surabhi cows. Go means cow. Similarly, this capital of Maharaj Yudhishthira, Hastinapur, may be taken that there are many elephants. Formerly the kings used to maintain, otherwise who will maintain elephant? Suppose I bring one elephant, I present to you, will you accept? You will be finished. You can keep one dog, go. But if I say, I present you one elephant, please keep it. You will no sir, it is not possible. So, we will maintain. There, in India, there is a place near Patna where up to 10 years before, it was a market, yearly market, for selling cows, horses, elephants, camels, like that. Now there is no customer. At the present moment, that fear of selling big horses, nobody can purchase horse. They have got this tin car. That also not everyone. So people have become poor. Nobody can maintain now horses or elephant or number of cows. No, that is not possible. So they are condemned now. Formerly they were maintaining. Instead of keeping a big car, they used to keep 2, 3 elephants, number of horses, number of cows. This is domestic animals. They are domestic animals. They used to be maintained. But nowadays they cannot. But during Maharaj Yudhishthir's time, or before that, the city was so full of elephants that it is named after elephant, Hastinapur. Many elephants. Still in India, in big procession, marriage ceremony, they bring some elephants. But that is, in procession, elephants, horses are demonstrated, especially royal family. But these things have now gone. Now, instead of Hastinapur, it is now motor carpur. That's it. Thank you very much.
Another powerful lecture by Srila Prabhupada, but I feel this lecture was definitely a nice instruction to us on how we should lead Krishna consciousness in a very honest, clear, strong and faithful way. And because as Prabhupada was speaking, I was thinking about, the word servant leadership and how important it is that we've heard this term many times, servant leader, and how important it is that to be a leader doesn't mean just to be a leader, but it also means to be a servant. And as Prabhupada was talking about Maharaj Yudhishthir, that he was completely a servant, he was completely a servant. So this was a really powerful lecture by Srila Prabhupada, sharing different examples of what it means to be a servant leader and making sure that the citizens are taken care of, everything is going on well. So this is really, really powerful lecture. Would like to open up to ask devotees if you have any takeaways, any thoughts, any reflections, any, anything that's coming to mind, please do raise your hand or you can put it in the chat and I'll be happy to read it. Yes, Nitya Gopal, go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam, Jai Sri
Accept my
Prabhupada.
knowledge of Prabhupada.
Yes, wonderful lecture, specifically on the, wow. Srila Prabhupada put so much focus on the correct representative of the society. Because Duryodhana wasn't representing the correct way, so Lord wanted to re-establish that. So that was the big point Srila Prabhupada mentioned. I was thinking on that point. Recently, even 500 years back, during the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we had King Pratap Rudra. We can see all the history in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and how this is a recent time, not like the time was during Pandava is 5,000 years back, but this time is just 500 years back. Not
within Kali Yuga.
Kali Yuga, right. And we can see that how he was leading the kingdom, You see that whenever there is devotees from Navadip used to come with the Nityananda Prabhu, how he used to make elaborate arrangements for all of them. And everything was like the way 5,000 years back it was, carried out, all the devotional practices being, carried out. You can see that, Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra, how it was managed and carried out under the ruling of King Pratap Rudra. So I was thinking that point, it's not like a foreign concept, but it was being practiced just now, this is not there. Just I was thinking on that point. One of the point I liked, Srila Prabhupada mentioning, intelligence is given. Why you are rotting in this world? Use your intelligence and go back home, back to God.
Srila Prabhupada is always telling us, right, that we have to use our intelligence the right way. And he repeats in every single lecture. Every single lecture, and we still have to be reminded. It's just Kali Yuga, that's just what it is. Kali Yuga is so messed up that we need to be reminded over and over again.
Yeah, another point I was thinking in the devotees in our Krishna consciousness or the ISKCON devotees. We should align how Srila Prabhupada gives this culture widely and everywhere being practiced. Srila Prabhupada mentions this Vedic culture was practiced in all 7 continents. It is the eternal dharma of the this creation. It's not something foreign. So when you represent ourselves, we should have this knowledge that this is not something abnormal, or we just fanatic, or just Srila Prabhupada told we are doing it. No, this was the way culture was, society was being led. So it's our eternal culture, and when we align ourselves, then there is no any doubt or any confusion in that, because Srila Prabhupada mentions wonderfully this Vedic culture being practiced in all 7 continents.
Prabhupada, that's a very good point, because we made it different. It was always there. That was the lifestyle that we had to live. It wasn't different, but we made it different because of Kali Yuga being so crazy, because we wanted the way we wanted things. So we kind of changed it. So we actually changed it. It's not that it was that's a very good point, because it has always been there.
Correct.
We just changed it because we didn't want to follow it, because we wanted to do what we wanted to do,
We can see that how Lord Sri Krishna tells the Arjuna, this chain of this knowledge being broken, speaking and re-establishing it. Yeah, similarly,
that's a very good point, Prabhu. Very good point. Yeah, because even in the old days, like you said, even during Lord Chaitanya's time, they had this wonderful king, like you mentioned, King Prataparudra. It was a very wonderful king. I mean, which king which we see now, which leader, and which leader of the state or the city or the town would come out and sweep the Lord's cart, right?
Right. That's a real example we had.
They just feel, no, why should I do that? But it's powerful, and that's why Shri Prabhupada was quoting, what great men do, common men follow, from Bhagavad Gita. Very, very nice point. Very, very nice point, Prabhu. Thank you. Very, very nice takeaway. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Any other takeaways from devotees? Any thoughts, any reflections, any clarification? Please, you can put it in the chat and I'll be happy to read it. Or if you can unmute yourself and, and share what you would like to share. One thing that I really appreciated from Sri Prabhupada is how he was saying, even when Abhimanyu, even when Maharaj Parikshit had his astrology read of, how he predicted how it was predicted how he would leave his body, which I didn't hear that before. I don't know if I heard it. I think this is the first time that I'm hearing that Maharaj Parikshit's death was predicted. At least my mind is not remembering things, but still Maharaj Yudhisthira went not by his time of death, but the quality of a leadership he had. So I was thinking, wow, how important it is that that the country or the city or the state or whatever is handed over to the right person to carry on Krishna consciousness. Like I was thinking about Srila Prabhupada, even when Bhaktivinoda Thakur, even he predicted, that there will be someone who will come and spread the holy name all over the world. And they were like wondering who would do that, because at the time in Bengal, there was like, who would do that? But then the Lord chose Prabhupada only, and that too at the age of 70. So it's really powerful how the Lord really chooses the right person, the right candidate, lack of a better word, to really push on the Krishna conscious movement. I was really meditating on that, how the Lord was chosen. So yeah, that was my takeaway from this whole thing, was really, really powerful. How Maharaj Yudhishthira, and I really like the point where he says that even the cows were giving out so much milk that even the roads were muddy with milk. That was really, really amazing to see the roads muddy with milk. Wow. Like yeah, that was really powerful. That was few of my realizations, how it's so important to really walk Srila Prabhupada's teachings. And I think at one point, one of my takeaway was at one point, Srila Prabhupada was saying how it's so important to follow the teachings that was given to us. Like Nethi Gopal was mentioning, it's part of our life. It's not a culture, it's not a cult that was created. It has always been there since, time immemorial. We are just creating it into a group, but actually there isn't a group. It's been there, 5,000 something years ago when Krishna appeared. I mean, so it's not a cult, it's not a group, it's not a religion, it's life.
Natural. Yeah.
Yes.
It's natural. It's our eternal,
Yes.
Eternal Sanatan.
Yes. Yes.
Meaning of Sanatan is eternal.
Yes. 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 So we have to go back to where we should be. And that is going back to the Krishna conscious lifestyle, because that is what it is. That is how it's supposed to be. That's no different. And I also like how Srila Prabhupada says that we really have to follow the process, and follow the instructions and not mix it up, and really be dedicated with it and really follow through and really embrace it. So that was a really powerful point by Srila Prabhupada. Very, very powerful point. As always, all his lectures are so to the point. So to the point. And of course, we've got to use our intelligence properly. Sometimes we use our intelligence for, sometimes, stupid things, petty things, and it's just not even worth it. And we just got to use it for the right thing. But Prabhupada is just amazing. That's why he's the ambassador of our Krishna conscious movement.
For the ends with the motor carpool. Used to be Hastinapur.
I know.
Motor carpool.
That was hilarious. You're right. Motor carpool. I'm telling you, Srila Prabhupada has a way, of really making the lectures so powerful, and yet he cracks a joke at the end, just to, but even his jokes are very meaningful. It's not just to time pass, like it is really, really, yes.
Krishna consciousness. Yeah.
Because for him to say motor carpool is because the life is that. We are all running the rat race, from one car to another car to another car to another car. And I was when I was in Mayapur in February, I was talking to one devotee, and he said that he listened to a lecture. And I forgot one sannyasi, and I want to say, I think he mentioned Kavi Chandra Swami, but I might be wrong. Or was it Kadamat Kakanaswami? I forgot. But he said that nowadays in India, and I see it all over the world, but he was speaking there because he was in India. He says there are 3 asuras. He says one is bus asura, Toto asura, because now rickshaw is no more there. Toto asura and truck asura, because it's all over, but that's how our lives have been, it's become so automated, yet such a rat race, but it's so temporary.
The current riches causes the harm to the planet, the current riches, which is motor car and these things.
Yeah.
But the old riches was used to be horses, elephants, and cows.
Yes, that's what your Prabhupada said.
Yeah, they used to help to maintain the planet, to balance the planet.
And now they can't do it. He said but nowadays they cannot.
Cannot afford the current riches because they are bringing the planet down.
Exactly, absolutely. It's amazing how the life has turned from simplicity to complexity, pretty much. Complexity. Right. Really powerful. And Prabhupada is always reminding us to use our intelligence to make it simple, don't make it complicated, and to really use the Krishna conscious teachings wisely and do it properly. Really, really powerful, very powerful. Very nice. Anyone else would like to share something before we end the class? I just want to make a humble announcement and a reminder that Kratu Prabhu is in town. So he will be giving the class tonight at Reading at 7 o'clock. So I encourage devotees, if you can, please carpool and go to the class this evening. And Kratu Prabhu will be giving the class tomorrow at the temple at 4:30 in the evening, tomorrow and Sunday. And I humbly request that if we can come to both the days. Tonight's topic in Reading is Seva and Surrender. Service and surrender. Amazing topic that I'm sure we all need to hear and be reminded of over and over again, service and surrender. And Saturday and Sunday is a 2-day workshop. So if you miss one, you're going to miss out on the other. So if you can, to attend both of them. And it's Kirtaniya Sadahari for community building. So please, it's tomorrow at 4:30 at the temple and Sunday at 4:30 in the temple. So please do join us and block your calendar. Try to be on time. We encourage everyone to be on time, especially tomorrow, because we're going to hear both from Kratu Prabhu and Amrita Keli Mataji. Both of them, they're going to speak. So I highly encourage everyone to please attend and be on time, 4:30 American Standard Time. And please pass the word around. Bring your friends and family, as many as can come. That would be great. And yes, there will be prasadam, definitely on both days. If there are no comments and no questions, we thank you so much for joining us. Vancha krapatubhyascha, kripa sindhabeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a wonderful day, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bye, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.